Hello to whoever has tuned into this video. I have just come back from spending a whole month in America for the month of October. So basically, like, I've always said to myself, if I'm ever going to go to America, it's going to be during spooky season. So I went to some spooky places, I did some spooky things, and this is going to be like a spooky, witchy kind of haul of different things that I have purchased from New Orleans and Salem. Also, just a little disclaimer, the reason that I have a little bit of a lisp is because while I was over there I got my tongue split. So that is why I have a little bit of a lisp going on. In case you were wondering, maybe it doesn't come across in the video, but I feel like I notice it when I listen back to myself talking. So now that that is out of the way, I am going to start off with the stuff that I got from New Orleans. All of my stuff here is in this cute little Spirit Halloween bag, which I'm going to keep forever, because like we don't have Spirit Halloween in Australia. We don't even have like Halloween stores. We just have like cheap Halloween stuff every year. Like, it gets more and bigger every year, but it is nothing like the States. I actually didn't buy a lot of Halloween stuff now that I think about it. I mainly bought just like witchy stuff, like tarot cards and stuff. So that's why this is a witchy haul. So the first thing that I bought, and also I'm really sorry, like I don't know where like I got a lot of this stuff from. Like, I've forgotten half of the stores. I do remember some things, but the majority of the stuff that I bought was from the French Quarter, and in the French Quarter there's a lot of like voodoo, witchy, new age type shops. So everything that I got was from around the French Quarter. So the first things that I bought, I know that they were in a store that said like voodoo shop or voodoo store, and I remember that like the logo was like red and yellow. So if you really need to know, there's a hint. But I got this skull beaded bracelet, which is for like ancestral protection. It's made of wood. And I also got this Halloween oracle from the same store. I'll see if I can just show a couple of the cards. Like, it's just all obviously like Halloween, spooky themed. So I just thought that it made sense to buy something like that at the time that I was visiting, from the place that I was visiting. I've had some really potent messages from this deck as well, so yeah, like I'm a fan. Oh, actually I have found the brochure for the place that I got those from. So it is called the Voodoo Bone Lady. They do readings in there. They had like a whole bunch of different things, but yeah, that was a really cool store. I wandered in there like a few times. To be fair, like the French Quarter, I just some days just didn't really have a plan. I just like aimlessly wandered through the French Quarter, just aimlessly through all of the different stores, because it was just, I don't know, really cool to be around, and the place just had like a very unique energy about it. The next things I got from the French Quarter Gem and Lapidary. So yeah, they sold like a whole bunch of different little crystals, witchy knickknacks. This is like a Jasper, I believe it's Jasper arrowhead. I don't know if that's like focusing properly. But it's just a little pendant, and this is, I think you say it is like ammonite. Can you see it properly? It's like a fossil basically. These, and just fossils in general, generally represent wisdom. FYI. Also got this little Egyptian cat pendant from there as well. which is really cute. I also got this New Orleans Oracle deck. I actually bought it from the store that is like owned by the lady who made the deck. So it's just a really colorful, pretty deck, as you can see, which is just so New Orleans. Like, New Orleans is just a, I don't know, I just think of colors when I think of New Orleans. So yeah, that is just super pretty, and I love that. I love all of the messages that I have been getting from that deck. It just has a really nice vibe about it. And I also had seen this all over New Orleans in all the different stores, and I kept eyeing it off, and then eventually I went into the store that the lady owns, like not knowing that it was her store. She wasn't there. There was like another lovely lady there that helped me, but she pulled the deck out and then just got me to pick a few cards, and then I just kind of was like, this is just a sign for me to just buy the deck. And then that's when she told me that yeah, the lady who made the deck is actually the lady who owns that store. So I thought that that was pretty cool, to be able to buy that from the source store. My personal favorite store that I went into was called Hands of Fate. I ended up getting a reading from a gentleman named Sam, and it was just such a really nice reading, and yeah, like it just connected some dots together for things that I'd been wondering about. But I ended up buying his book and I read the whole thing. He's a medium, so this is just like a bunch of stories from his journey and his experiences, and it was very interesting. I learned a lot about like spirits and how they connect to people if they're kind of in denial of, you know, their death or unaware of their death. So yeah, it was a really cool read. I recommend it. I'm sure it's probably online somewhere. I also bought this bell from there. Bells are really good for just raising the vibe and getting rid of negative spirits. So I've just been hanging this up in my van just to, yeah, keep the vibe high. Not that it's never not high in here, I don't mean it like that, but you know what I mean. After I got the reading from Sam, he gave me this little blessing, which is just full of herbs and bits and pieces. So that was also really cute as well. It just smells so nice. I also bought some spray Florida water in that store as well, and like they make it in-house as well, so oh my god, it just smells so nice. I don't really have, like, I don't know where it is, so I can't really show it, but oh my god, it smells amazing. So if you're in New Orleans, go and get some Florida water from them, because just, oh my god, just go into that store in general. That was like my favorite yeah, little witchy spiritual voodoo shop. So that is it for all of the New Orleans stuff that I bought. So I'm just gonna move on to the Salem stuff. Salem is very similar when it comes to just witchy spiritual shops being everywhere. So yeah, like I loved it. I spent lots of money and I regret nothing. I bought a few books in Salem. So the first one that I got was this Pendulum magic book, which I am halfway through. I'm currently working on making some pendulums for my Etsy store. So I don't know, like I already use like a pendulum for myself, but I just feel like it's one of those things where you can just never have enough information. It's like tarot, where like it's good to just keep reading books and soaking up info on things, because it's just kind of endless. So there's just always something that you can take from things. So I'm really enjoying this book at the moment. Yeah, it's very like quick, easy read, but it's just full of things that I just never even thought about when it comes to like using pendulums. So that was cool. I don't remember where I got it though, unfortunately, so sorry about that. Just adding another deck to the collection, I bought this Cat People tarot deck, which is very kind of like 80s sci-fi, but like not. Like it's just a really unique deck. Like the art just looks really yeah, just like something that I haven't seen before. So if you want to like have a look, those, I hope that that's focusing. Doesn't really help if they're like upside down, but I don't know, the colors are just really cool. The art is just very different. I don't know, it's just kind of like boho at the same time as being like 80s. I don't know, I just think it's really cool. Oh, also I bought some Florida water. This is from New Orleans. I can't remember what store. I think it was maybe Sassy Magic, but yeah, I just thought that I would add that in there because I forgot about that. I also bought this Practical Sigil Magic book. For those who don't know, I actually create custom sigils for people. That's on my Etsy, like if you're interested. But this is just like another thing where I feel like you can just never learn enough. Yeah, I just like soaking in as much as I can so that I can just be better at what I do and just have like more perspectives. So yeah, I found that and I thought that that would be a good read. I haven't touched that one yet, but I'm keen to. I also got this little set of matches. It's really not focusing. Yeah, it's literally just a set of matches with the magician card on the front. It was cute. I also don't remember if I got that from Salem or New Orleans. Yeah, I might have got it from one of the Hex stores. So Hex is a store that, yeah, it's just all about like witchcraft, magic, like all that kind of stuff. And they have a store in New Orleans and Salem. So yeah, I have a feeling that I might have got it from there. And also I nearly forgot this guy. So I got this little Baphomet teddy in the Satanic Temple of Salem. I honestly wouldn't have even known that the Satanic Temple was a thing in Salem until like I saw it on TikTok, and someone was saying because Salem is very busy in October, it's like a unique, cool place to go that isn't actually going to be super packed. So I made my way there just to check it out, and it was really cool actually. Like they had a huge statue of Baphomet in there, which honestly, like after going there I went down a little bit of like a rabbit hole, listening to some podcasts and, you know, watching videos and stuff on like Satanism and Baphomet. I personally don't relate, like I wouldn't call myself a Satanist, but with Satanism, it's like an interesting thing. So they kind of don't really believe in anything. They believe in themselves, and they kind of use Baphomet as like a symbol of freedom, of choice and self-empowerment. It actually made me think about like the devil card in like a new perspective, like in the tarot deck. So yeah, like I personally I wouldn't call myself a Satanist because like I think their views are a bit more leaning towards like atheism in a way, and I obviously am a very spiritual person and I believe in like spirit guides and all sorts of stuff. So I wouldn't, yeah, I don't relate in that sense, but it was very interesting and I respect a lot of the stuff that they're doing. They get involved in a lot of activism, and yeah, I just thought that that was really cool. So yeah, very interesting place to go. I had to get this little Baphomet teddy. This is probably like my favorite thing that I bought on my trip, to be honest. It's just cute, and like how many people have a Baphomet teddy from the Satanic Temple? I don't know, I just love it so much. The last thing that I got in Salem was a book. It is called Secrets of Romany Fortune Telling. So I was walking around Salem at night and a gentleman was handing out flyers, from what I think that's what he was doing. But he was just talking about like free readings, and he told me to go to a store called House Witch, and he also was saying that they were doing a book signing of this book, and I had no plans. I'll just like, I'll do whatever. I'll go wherever the wind takes me. And especially, you know, having to do with the themes of like tarot, palmistry, anything like that. I'm like, I'm just here for the experience. So I went to House Witch, the store, and I met Paulina and Jasmina, who wrote this book, and they did like a little talk on the history of tarot and fortune telling and how it originates from Romani culture. So I just really felt like I was supposed to go there because, like I said, I just like soaking up as much information on things as I can. I don't really think that there's like a finish line with this kind of stuff. Like, there's always something to learn. The culture of all of this stuff is just so layered. But yeah, I felt like that this was like, I was supposed to come across this book. I haven't started it yet, but I just really think that it's important to be able to like acknowledge where the origins of what you're doing, in my case it would be tarot, come from, and just understanding like, yeah, just like the culture around things, and understanding the roots of, you know, what you're doing. These guys were lovely, and they signed my book and wrote me like a little note. But yeah, I'm just really excited to dive into this book because the origins of tarot being rooted in like Romani culture is something that's just really glazed over. Like, I've read a few tarot books and a lot of the time it is mentioned, but it's kind of like a one-page thing. So to actually be able to fully like dive into it and understand it, and apparently there's actually not a lot of books out there, if any, that fully dive into this topic. These guys also have a podcast as well, so I'm so keen to, yeah, just like give it a listen and just educate myself further. So if you're someone who also reads tarot, this, like, I feel like is going to be a book that is a must read. I haven't, like I said, I haven't even dived into it, but I just feel like it's important, and these guys are doing really cool things. So yeah, that is the haul. I hope that this was entertaining. I don't know if people like hauls anymore. Do people like, are people interested in that? This is something that I used to watch when I was like 15 and I loved them. So yeah, I hope that someone found some sort of entertainment from this, and that you could get through my lisp because it's annoying me slurring some words, but by the way, it will go away, just in case anyone like is wondering about that. It's not a permanent thing. Whoever's watching this, I hope you can make it to New Orleans one day. I really love Salem as well, but for me, like, New Orleans was just like, I honestly felt like I had a freaking past life there or something, because I was so sad leaving. It was my favorite part of my trip. Salem was also really cool too. So yeah, if you're like a witchy person into any of this kind of stuff, like, highly recommend both of those places. They're just unreal and you'll just be in your element. So yeah, again, I hope that you enjoyed this video and you have an awesome day.